Welcome, everybody. I am Alana.
And I'm Lady.
And this is Spookery.
Ma'am, we are fucking here.
We are here. We did it. Season heckin' 2, all the way at the end of it already. It feels like it just started, and here we are at the end already.
It really does. It really, honestly, I remember telling you about Muffin Man like it was yesterday. And
right? It just
now
happened.
We're here.
Yeah.
And I know there was a whole lot of Titanic in the middle there, but honestly, Titanic flew by when we were recording it, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt like it's been 10 days. It's been 10 days since we started.
Pretty much. We just sped run this whole season, and now we're here.
And now we're here.
But honestly, it was a trip the whole time. I would not have wanted to do it with anyone else, man.
Ah, ma'am, you're such a pleasure and delight to record with.
Man. Oh.
And also to be friends with.
Yeah, of course. Gosh. Well, I am so excited after coming back from your insane case last week.
Yeah.
After a truly deeply creepy story that definitely skeeved me out, and probably a lot of our listeners too, I think this case, while it has its moments, is going to be a lot different. It's not going to be quite as creepy.
Well, I kind of hope so, because, I guess, stalkers and assassins and theft and fraud, they have very different, energy,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, the nature of the crime is very distinct. Like, you can have theft and fraud with, a stalker and assassination, but it's very hard to have, a stalker and assassination with theft and fraud.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess they can technically intertwine, but, I don't know, it's the stalking has to be, significantly less for it to be a
Yes.
theft and fraud.
Yeah.
And the theft and fraud has to be minimal to be a stalker and assassin.
It's true. It is true.
How do you define this? How
Where
does
is
this
that
work?
line?
How do our categories work?
It's like the line between, grave robbing and
and archaeology.
archaeology. Yeah, where does that line fall? How much time has to pass? I don't know. I don't know where that line is. We're not going to figure it out today.
No. Honestly, I would define the definition between the two is the grave still being actively visited by loved ones? And that can be 200 years. If you still have mourners coming to celebrate the life of that person, it's grave robbing. But
Yeah.
if that grave has been there unattended, is rotting away, and nobody's coming for him, then it's archaeology, baby.
Okay. All right.
It's all about the content.
I think I agree with that for now until I have more information to contradict. But for now, I'm okay with that. I'm good with that.
I'm coming in hot and heavy with the controversial takes, and I don't even know what we're talking about today. We're talking about a theft and fraud. We're talking about a fucking heist and hooliganry. We're talking about tax evasion and something that's probably not tax evasion. I don't know.
Could be.
I'm just here to have a good time, and I'm here to be here for a long time.
Right. No, this case will be, it'll be good. It's definitely a roller coaster. There's going to be lots of loop-de-loops, so it's definitely strapped in and just, be ready for whatever comes. I don't think it'll be anything particularly... There's no trigger warnings for this episode. But I will say that this episode, it's going to have some really sad parts. I cried quite a bit, actually, while writing this script. It's just... It's impactful. It's a case that just really touched me in a lot of ways, and I think will probably touch a lot of our listeners, too. I hope it means something to you, truly. Despite how, fun and twisty-turny, the case itself is... The reason that we're telling it is always, for the victims. We're here for them. Yeah. So
100%. If anybody can tell a person's story, ma'am, it's you. You can always breathe the most life into a person, into their story, into who they were before something terrible happened to them. And I know you're just going to absolutely knock this out the park. And I am so strapped in. My seatbelt is on. I've got safety goggles. I'm ready to be thrown at a wall. Take me on a fucking journey. I'm so freaking excited.
All right. Well, I will say, before we do jump in, I think this is one of our more recent cases. This takes place in 1994.
Okay.
So you might have heard of it. I know it's not our most recent case, but I know it's up there.
Yeah.
It's also a pretty landmark case in the U.S. as far as the court decision itself. So I think just because of the cultural significance that it's had, you might have heard of it, though, of course, as I always do, I hope that you have not. I love being able to share new cases with you. I never want to bring something to where you're like, yeah, I've heard of that, and then I'm just repeating all the information that you already know. So I do hope that this is something.
The beautiful thing about U.S. cases in the 90s is that I wasn't here.
It's
I
true.
wasn't in the U.S.
It's true.
I have no context for anything that happened before like 2012. So chances are I probably haven't heard of it unless it's been in the news in the last like 5 years.
I don't know if it has been. I'll ask. Have you heard of the case Ring versus Arizona?
Who?
I'm gonna go with no. It's Ring versus Arizona.
R-I-N-G? Ring?
RINGVARIZONA.
I've never heard of this Arizona place. You'll have to tell me more about it.
I gotta fill her in. But I honestly couldn't think of a better.
I have
first
not
case.
heard of this.
It's an interesting one. Like I said, lots of twists and turns. Okay. I'm really excited to hear your thoughts on it because there were so many claims made throughout it. Where even though there is like a conclusion to it, like there's always like room to speculate, I guess, type of a thing. I have my conclusion. But I am excited to hear yours or just other thoughts or theories that you may have about things as we go on.
I'm so intrigued. It's like a home case for you because it is Arizona. And it's in the 90s, which was the same era as Ingrid. So it kind of feels like it's tying all of the threads from your previous cases together. I'm really excited. I'm just like, I've never heard of this. I don't know it, at least not by this name. So yeah. Let's go.
It also, I've heard it referred to in news articles as the Wells Fargo heist of Arizona. I don't know if that rings a bell at all. I'm sure there's a lot of Wells Fargo heists. This one's just particular to Arizona.
Wait, I bank at Wells Fargo. Am I okay? Am I safe?
You're fine.
Do they have my credit card information?
Happened in the 90s. You're good.
Oh my God.
No, but it was wild. Wells Fargo 90s. And yeah, it happened here in Arizona, which, as some speculation know, it's my hometown. And I have literally walked where this happened. Like, and I didn't know that it had happened when, like, I mean, I grew up, obviously, here. And so I've walked this spot, been here, before I knew that this happened. And then after going through all this, like, it's just like, oh, that's surreal. Like, that's unbelievable that just such a crazy thing can happen in broad daylight, right in a spot that you walked.
Yeah, I actually had the same feeling with another case that I recently put on my spreadsheet. And it was like a theft and fraud case that happened in a hotel that my family and I frequented at the time of the crime. We used to have dinner there often, and I thought nothing was wrong. I just went there and I had a good time. And then here I am.
You're like, this is the safest place ever.
Fucking 15 years later, I was like, oh, did you hear about that terrible hotel thing that happened? And I was like, the what?
The who now?
When I was there? The who? So as someone who has also got an experience like that, I get how like daunting that feels, like just being somewhere where there's a crime and not knowing at the time that it was the hotspot for a crime.
Right? Yeah. Like, yeah, no, it is. It's very weird, and it sends that like chill down your spine where you're just like, that's just, I don't know. There's just something strange about it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that is one of the big reasons why I wanted to discuss this case today. Like I said, is just that kind of like personal connection to it. Another reason, obviously, is how much of a landmark case this was. This was a case that went all the way to the Arizona Supreme Court. It was ruled on by Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. May she rest in peace.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Rest in power, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Rest in power. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
This case also ended up affecting a lot of other cases after it. From my understanding, the ruling of this ended up affecting over 100 other Arizona cases whose sentences were reevaluated in the wake of this ruling, all having to do with the death penalty.
Wow. Okay. I color me intrigued. I'm so excited to see where this goes.
Yeah. This case was vexing. So I don't want to give away too much.
That's a great word.
It is.
Vexing.
I don't want to give away too much before we actually get into it. But yeah, just once again, I want to take a minute to just really dedicate this episode to the victims who I don't want to say their names now until we get through it, just not give anything away. But I promise once we get to that point, we are going to repeatedly say their name because it deserves to get said.
Yeah, 100%. Every episode we ever do is dedicated to the victims, whether there's 1 or 1,500 or 22 billion, whatever it is, like it is always for them. And yeah, their stories deserve to get told. So thank you for telling these people's stories.
Of course. Thank you, ma'am, you do it with me. This is a team effort. We do it together.
We
All
do
right.
it together.
Well, let's get into it. The setting. This is November 28th, 1994. This was the Monday right after Black Friday. So,
Oh my God.
really busy day. A lot of people usually take the day off work. A lot of returns happening that day. It's a very busy shopping day. It's right between, Christmas. Everyone's like, all right, let's go. It's go time.
Yep.
It was an unusually cold day here in Glendale, Arizona.
In Glendale.
In Glendale.
In Glendale.
In Glendale. It was very, very cool that day because it's usually very hot here. We live in the desert and it was nice and cool. Yeah, around 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon at a Dillard's department store that was a part of a local popular shopping center called Arizona Town Center.
Okay.
Outside of that Dillard's, there was a Wells Fargo armored vehicle that was parked. Inside that vehicle was 54-year-old John Magoch. John was described to be his usual self that day, making jokes over the radio to his friends back at headquarters, one of whom was Harold Hart. And Harold had described John as just like a really funny, outgoing guy who he loved to hear from on the radio. Just one of those people that like you heard his voice and you're just like, I'm gonna have a better day because I've heard from this person type of a thing.
Yeah.
So they had like really good impressions and just like always cracking jokes. That's that kind of guy.
Oh, it's like us.
Yeah, honestly. And, getting close to the holidays, I'm sure John was most likely looking forward to spending the holidays with his daughter Lisa, her husband, and their newborn baby.
Oh.
So it was going to be a really happy holiday for the family, getting to really celebrate a lot and really be thankful for just everything,
Yeah.
So John was in the car waiting while his messenger, David Moss, went to go inside and collect the money from inside the Dillards. Mm-hmm. This transaction took all of maybe 5 minutes. It was a pretty quick transaction. However, when David walked back out to return to John, both he and the van were gone.
Oh.
David was most likely confused at first, probably like just a little panicked, probably just like,
Yeah.
what happened? They run runs together every day. They have a really standard route that they go. This was not part of the protocol. So his brain, I'm sure he was just kind of like, let me try to call John. Let me figure out where John is. When he couldn't get a hold of John, his next step was probably to call back to headquarters, try to get a hold of someone there. Where's John? Did you tell him to leave? I don't know where he is. I can't get a hold of him. From there, as soon as it was discovered that no one had heard from John, no one knew where the van was, they called the police.
Oh my God.
Partly because, according to Wells Fargo records, by that time of day around 1:30 p.m., that van was carrying approximately $562,000 in cash and $271,000 in checks inside.
I was going to say, did they rob the armored vehicle without there being money on board because the guy was going to get the money? Did they just, get the timing wrong? They're like, quick, get the van! And they run in and they're like, oh God, the van's empty! Ah!
That honestly would have been a great outcome to this. But no, the van had money in it.
Okay.
So that was why they immediately were like, okay, we gotta call the police. That's a lot of money. We can't get a hold of John.
Yeah.
We can't just wait around.
There's a lot of other people's money as well.
Exactly. So police were called pretty quickly. It didn't take much time to find it, though. It was only about, I say much time. Retrospectively, I'm sure every minute of this 5 hours felt like a long time.
100%.
But it was found that same day, about 5 hours later. It was found by some churchgoers in Sun City. It was just sitting in their parking lot. These people were heading in to go play bingo or something on their afternoon, and they're like, why is this van, this armored vehicle sitting it's running in the parking lot of our car, or in the parking lot of our church?
That's so strange. If you're gonna dump a car, in a parking lot and still on, not, in the desert?
Interesting, right?
It's,
Interesting.
yeah, it's an odd choice. If I was a bank robber, and I'm not, that wouldn't have been my choice.
Right? There's definitely some choices were made.
Apparently.
So obviously these churchgoers, they phoned Maricopa County Sheriff's deputies who went straight away to collect the vehicle. However, oddly enough, the doors on the vehicle were locked as well.
Okay.
They couldn't open them, so they had to wait for a Wells Fargo employee to actually come, a representative to come that had a key that could open the door for them and let them in. Once they actually opened the door to the back of the vehicle is when they made the very shocking discovery of the body of John Magoch.
Oh, no.
He was lying face down on the floor of the van, dead from a single gunshot wound to the temple.
Very execution style. I hate that. Poor John.
Very personal, right? That's a choice again.
It's intimate, but it's executioner style. It's not filled with hatred. It's just very it's almost like it's a business transaction. It's a really gory, horrible business transaction.
Yeah, like someone with ice in their veins, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?
It's a stark contrast to Ingrid, where you 62 stab wounds, and then this is just one shot to the temple. Oh, it's a different kind of evil. It's just
It is. It is. It's like you said, they're both evil, but it's a different kind of evil.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, as you can guess, all of the money and checks were gone from the vehicle as well.
That would have been like the ultimate twist if the money hadn't been touched. It was just like they took the van for a joyride, killed the poor guy inside, and they're like, actually, we don't want the checks. We just changed our mind. We just drop the car off.
That would be even more horrifying. That would be a whole other kind of evil. I don't even know what kind of case I would be telling. Yeah, I couldn't cope with that. That's a CSI Miami episode right there. It really is. So the discovery of this crime sparked an immediate investigation.
Yeah.
Not only was this quite a bit of money that we were talking about, but more importantly, we have a strangely personal murder that had been committed. Police assuredly wanted to get to the bottom of this straight away.
Yeah.
So the crime scene was really interesting. It told police right away that they weren't really working with rookie criminals, just because, again, of like how oddly like clean everything had been. So if you're like me, who doesn't know anything about armored vehicles, let me learn you a thing real quick so you can fully comprehend how weird this whole thing was in context.
Yeah.
So, armored vehicles, the ones like that Wells Fargo uses, are pretty top-notch. They use like the best quality materials and engineering to keep their money and employees safe on their routes because they understand people want money. Like if this was an easy thing for people to rob, they would.
Yeah.
So they really put a lot of effort and energy into making this of like a foolproof process, basically, for these people to run their routes and get home safely at the end of the day.
Here's a dumb question for you. Are armored vehicles built by Wells Fargo themselves, or are they bought from a company that specializes in armored vehicles?
From the research I did, I believe it doesn't sound like Wells Fargo makes them themselves because it sounds like they use ones that other people use, but I don't know. Things could have changed too. This is 1994 Wells Fargo, 2025 Wells Fargo might have different standards.
My first assumption is like there is an armed like truck company that makes them, but I wasn't sure. I think I misheard you and I was like, Wells Fargo makes these themselves? That's crazy. Where do they get the money from this?
I just the armored ones that are similar to the ones Wells Fargo uses. I don't think that they're the manufacturers of them. I have a feeling that they get them from other places, but I don't know enough about cars to say for sure.
I was like, that would be a very bold choice of Wells Fargo. They're like, you know what we need? We used to have the Wells Fargo wagon. We're gonna need an armored truck, but we're gonna put horses in front of it. And someone's like, no, that's not how armored trucks work. And he's like, the horses. But paint them on the side then.
Yeah, I honestly, this was a completely unmarked vehicle too. I didn't mention that. This was just like a plain white vehicle from the outside, like a plain white van. It said nothing as far as Wells Fargo. Like I don't even think it said armored vehicle.
That's interesting because armored vehicles have a very distinct look. Like even when they're trying to blend in, they do look different because you can kind of tell that they're.
This one was a little bit of an older one. From all of the videos I saw, and I don't know how accurate the videos were, but some of them were actually like security camera footage, so I don't know, but everything I saw, this really just looked like one of those like white vans that people are like, don't get in the back of the white van. Like it really just looked like a white van. It did not look like anything special.
Interesting. Okay, so if it doesn't look like an armored vehicle, then someone who targeted knew what it was. They knew its route and they knew what it was.
It really adds a whole implication behind that. Like you said, if this is just an unmarked vehicle, but it's also, we'll get into it in a minute.
Yeah, I'm not loving this vibe. I'm not loving this vibe, Alana.
I'm gonna add more to that bad vibe in a minute, but let me tell you about the armored plating first.
Wow.
It all connects.
Okay.
So, these vans, they are lined with armor plating throughout, and every bit of glass is bullet resistant. And one of the biggest things is if the doors are forced open, it sounds an alarm.
Interesting.
So, from my understanding, these doors on these cars stay locked at all times, basically, unless you have a specialized key to open it. So unless the door is actively open, if it's closed at any time, it is in a locked position. The person on the inside can open it, but if you are on the outside of the car, you need a key to get in.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yes.
But that's also really eerie because that means that either poor John opened the door for these people or that person had a key, and I don't know which is scarier.
Or it also has implications of, was he working with these people? There's a lot of things.
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to speak ill of the dead, but I guess that is a possibility too.
We have to consider all possibilities at this point in the crime. We're this early on. We have to look at every angle.
We do.
We're not.
I think that's fair.
we're not there yet.
I don't get that vibe from you, John, but
Right.
also, yeah, we're not there yet, and you might have been an absolute bastard, and we'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there when we get there. So, I felt like a little bit of a criminal looking up how all these, like, specialized locks work on. I'm like, guys, armored security vans, how do you break into one? Like, I'm like, that's not a question that normal people have in their Google search. So I really didn't look.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped my search there because, like I said, it just gave me, like, a weird vibe where I'm like, I'm going to get a call from someone. Why are you Googling these things? So, I don't know.
This is the podcast for strange Googles.
Right? I did my best.
This is it.
I did my best to understand how these locks work, but if anyone knows more about these armored vehicles, about these locks, let me know. So, with understanding all of that, it really makes you even more eerie about this whole situation. Part of the other addition to that is these people clearly knew about all these things, or maybe they didn't. Was this just a random crime, or was someone really, like, was this like a real thing? Was someone sitting and, like, scouting him out? That's the part that gets me going back to, I think, just after last episode with the Watcher, the idea of anyone watching me for any reason without my consent just skeeves me out to a point that I want to jump out of my own skin. Like, it's... Yeah.
It's voyeuristic, isn't it? You don't like the idea that there is somebody who has dedicated a large portion of their time to look at you. It's so invasive. It's horrible. It's horrible.
It just is. It just is. Yeah. So I hated that. I hated thinking about this. At this point, I was just kind of like, yeah, every possibility sucks.
Yeah, it's not great.
But in addition to all of the, high-tech features that this van has, the Wells Fargo team puts a lot of effort into, like I said, their employees, their routes, making sure they're safe. So both the messenger and driver also carry on them at all times 38 caliber pistols.
Okay.
The driver and messenger stick to their roles at all times as well. Meaning the messenger or the hopper is the only one to be getting in and out of the car. The driver stays in the car at all times until the end of the shift when they go to drop the car back off.
Gotcha.
They just try to make the system as whole rock solid as they can, but hearing all of that just makes it so much more eerie of, like, this guy had a gun on him. He was in a locked armored vehicle. He's sitting behind bulletproof glass, but he was shot.
The vibe I'm getting, weirdly enough, it's not that he was in on it. I get the vibe that he knew who it was. Like, it was a familiar face. And I'm like, this couldn't, like, maybe I'm just living in a beautiful, hopeful, optimistic world where everything is beautiful and John's a good boy. But I don't know, I guess I get that vibe of, like, this was the 90s and people, like
you said, they were like, hey, what's up? John, how's it going?
Yeah, it was like, oh my God, hi, are you just done with your shift? Do you need a ride back to the bank? Yeah. Like, I'm sure, like, our buddy wouldn't mind. You could just sit in the back with the money. Like, I feel like he would trust whoever it was. And you're going to reveal that they didn't know each other, and I'm going to cry.
I don't want to make you cry yet. How about we talk about something else for a minute? So, I mean, let's just keep driving home how crazy the situation is. Because truly, like you said, regardless of what had happened, whether it was a person that knew him, whatever, they managed to get this vehicle out. Like, this is in front of a mall. They managed to either overpower this man. Somehow they gained control of this vehicle and moved it out of this area without causing alarm, without sounding the actual alarm on the vehicle, like, without...
Yeah, in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Like, that is just so unreal.
It's unfathomable.
Yeah. Yeah, they were really leaning toward a really, really seasoned criminal, which could potentially be John. As far as evidence go, that's the first place to start, right? We got to start there before we can even start looking at suspects. So, as far as evidence goes, police first went back to the original scene of the crime where the armored vehicle was stolen, so right in front of Dillard's. They scoured the inside of the mall, from my understanding, as well as the parking lot. But the only single thing that they actually found were John Magoch's broken glasses.
In the parking lot?
In the parking lot. They were outside.
Okay, that does imply that he wasn't working with them, because that's a fucking crazy thing to do.
Isn't that interesting? Outside of the vehicle, his broken glasses. So,
and something must have lured him out, and in that window, that quick, brief lureage, like, someone was ready. Someone was ready to just slip on by.
Yeah. The other weird thing, they also searched the van itself, right? Because that's the other. There's the scene of the crime where the van was stolen, but then we also have the van itself. The other weird thing, were that the perpetrators, if there were any beside John, left no fingerprints at all.
Gloves.
No fingerprints. They even tried to test the ballistic evidence because, as we know, John was shot. but the assailant used a frangible bullet, which is a type of bullet that breaks apart whenever it actually makes entry into whatever it hits.
So it was just sitting in his brain?
It basically just like deconstructs when it goes inside whatever it hits. That's how it's designed to work.
I feel like that's a war crime.
I don't think that they are legal to possess by citizens, like just like a walking around citizen. I think that is something that like you have to have some sort of a license to own. I think. I'll look it up. Yeah. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later. But also, they're wearing gloves and they're using illegal weaponry. What the fuck is going on, Kyle?
Yeah, right? Again, these things just both adding to the theory of some sort of seasoned criminal, because these are not things...
Yeah. These are not amateurs. No, amateurs don't pull out fucking crazy weaponry like this.
No. So yeah, they really went to work to try to get answers to this. They were like, something is afoot. As you can imagine, and as you've already pointed out, John Magoch and David Mouse, the messenger, they were the first ones to get looked at as suspects, which is just the most natural place to start, since they were the most closely connected, and since there was no other evidence pointing to literally anybody else. So it just made the most sense.
Yeah.
And we have seen crimes before where there is an inside man, where, you know, maybe he got cut out of the operation at the last minute. Like you said, maybe he saw something he wasn't supposed to. Maybe he wasn't even a part of the operation, but he was just wrong place, wrong time. Like, we don't know. But both of these men were ruled out almost immediately. The driver, John, was no longer considered a suspect, basically just due to him having an incredibly clean record.
Yeah, don't you talk smack about John like
No more John smack from here on out. After they spoke with his friends and family, they confirmed that he was, like, the most upstanding citizen. Like, truly just, like I said before, like a really friendly, funny, nice, hardworking man that loved his family. So, absolutely, John was ruled out. They're like, how could we ever thought it was John?
How dare you try and make me think it was John for even 1 second.
For even 1 second.
I stand John. We're a John-loving household.
After Muffin Man, I had to do it. But you're right, I shouldn't have done it at the expense of John. I'm sorry.
It's okay. John will forgive you. He loves a good joke.
Yeah. So, John was ruled out. As well as the messenger, David Moss, who was ruled out by Detective Bruce Lowe. He had spoken with him right after the initial report when the van and John had went missing. He had described David as pretty innocent.
He's only pretty innocent.
Right? Like, that was it. He said, to the effect of, he's like, he was pretty doe-eyed. I'm like, that's it. That's all he needed. You look doe-eyed.
Yeah, so. He's just got one of those faces where he couldn't commit a crime if he tried. Bless this baby boy.
Yep. So,
and everyone knows that those are the most hardened criminals. I don't know why I'm coming for fucking David. I'm sure David's fine. But I just
like her targets onto David
right.
now.
He's alive. He can defend himself at this point. He might not be alive later, but he's alive right now. But honestly, like, who does that leave us with? We have two guys. One's dead. One's not. And
exactly. Who does that leave us with?
Who does that leave us with? The nuns? Was it the nuns? Did they do this?
We have no suspects as of right now. That's how the police felt. I didn't want to give you any names as of yet, because there really wasn't much, as far as their early years of life to even get into the suspects. So I'm just going to give you the suspects once we get to them. But
okay, great. I love that for us.
Through this investigation into John's background, they did pick up on a key detail that really illuminated what could have occurred. During their initial look into the driver, John Magoch, they learned that he did have a habit that might have unintentionally contributed to that day's events.
Oh God, was he a smoker?
Yeah, he had a habit of smoking.
Oh my, why did I know that? Oh, I'm so good.
Yeah, and totally not an issue at home.
No.
But at work, where part of your job is to keep a door securely closed and not open, opening it for just a little bit, even just a crack to let out the smoke, created a breach in security.
Yeah.
So
God, but like fucking addiction is a rough one, because like addiction, you do crazy things when you're addicted to something, and this is the 90s.
Yeah. Everyone was smoking cigarettes.
Everyone's smoking. Everyone's addicted.
It's crazy that they didn't just have a sunroof in this thing to let him smoke in there. Like,
honestly, that probably would have been a little bit safer. At least we got maybe they just needed like a funnel, like if built in a funnel, like just like with a pipe that goes out the car, just go. Okay, great, got it out. That would have been fine, because everybody fucking smoked. It was the 90s, and it's Arizona. Wells Fargo was behind the times.
A little bit, yeah.
Get yourself a smoke funnel. Honestly, a kitchen funnel with a rubber hose, that's all you need.
I knew exactly what you meant.
Condition.
And then just drill a hole in the top, like, you're fine. You're good.
Yeah. No bad guys get in that way.
I do agree.
No, sir.
I do agree that really would have been like a common sense thing. With as much money and time and stuff that they put into the design of these armored vehicles, it was not like, what if you had to go potty?
Yeah. Pee in the fucking funnel. It all goes out.
That's what I mean. This funnel is multi-purpose. Like it solves so many problems. So I think we need to petition.
It smells like piss and cigarettes, but don't have to exit the car.
But and you'll never know what is which. But
everyone's a winner.
Yes.
And you come with a free can of Febreze to make it smell a little bit better.
Oh, God.
We've solved it. We've solved crime.
We solved it. Yeah. And truly, just making it to where people don't have to open their doors again, because that really is what the police were pretty convinced. They're like, that has to be like what like caused this, like not caused, but what like allowed this to happen, type of a thing, you know?
Yeah, and you just had somebody who knew that he took smoke breaks. So clearly, like, this is a common route. So this is someone who's observed. They're like, okay, as soon as we see that ajar, like they probably just like stalked up to the car and waited for whatever, the door to open or the window to roll down, whatever it was. And if you know his routine, if he always waits for the hopper to leave and then rolls down his window to just go,
yeah,
if it's pattern.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Like you said, this was definitely some sort of a veteran criminal.
Veteran Quimo.
No, but like you said, unless this was a weird fluke case of like the craziest crime of opportunity, this was someone that knew way too much, that knew his schedule, that knew the driver's habits, the vehicle schedule, that knew how to make a clean getaway despite having literal blood on their hands. This was a true seasoned piece of shit.
I don't think he had blood on his hands because he's probably wearing gloves. So he had blood on his gloves.
But those are still your hands. Where do you wear gloves? Touche. Your hands.
She's got me, chat. She's got me. No further questions, Your Honor. I concede. Put me in jail.
Exactly. I put my lawyer hat on for this one, okay? Don't mess with me.
She knows. She's not putting up with any of my bullshit
I know
today.
where you wear gloves. I did my investigation.
What about my hat glove?
I didn't do that research. You've always asked the questions I don't know the answers to.
You were so prepared for me this time. I'm like, okay.
I wasn't. I never am. Fully.
But
not
you
fully.
Are. Good that you are. All right, I'll find another way. I'll get you somehow.
No, but like you were saying, we have, at this point, no suspects. And we have so little. Why can I not talk tonight? We have so little evidence.
We have so little evidence. Who's going to jail?
So, like you had pointed out, at this point we have 0 suspects. We have very little evidence to go on. Authorities basically had 0 leads to follow up on.
Yeah.
It was at this point that the case was officially taken over by lead detectives Tom Clayton, who was a 12-year veteran of the Glendale PD at the time, as well as Detective Bruce Lowe. I don't know how long his tenure was.
That's okay.
And I couldn't figure it out. There's not much info. I know police officers like to keep a low profile on the internet, so I just really couldn't find too much.
Especially if they're detectives. Like, they're probably like, they're very like, I'm just want to stay in my lane, I want to solve my crimes, and I want to go home and like play with the turkeys.
Pretty much. I think you nailed Bruce Lowe right there. To a T. To a T.
I based him off of Detective Holes, the guy from the Golden State Killer case, the one who cracked it with like the familial DNA. He was like such a chill guy. He's like, I just wanted to go home. There's wild turkeys in my backyard. I wanted to look at them.
I'm like, fair.
You just solved like one of the biggest unsolved like serial killer crimes of all history. He just wanted to go home and look at the wild turkeys.
Yeah. I respect that, honestly. I really do. Simple man, simple pleasures.
Yeah, I love Detective Holes. Great guy. Shout out to Detective Holes.
You're
welcome on this podcast at any time.
Right. But right now, we're talking about Detective Tom Clayton and Detective Bruce Lowe. They were the 2 main detectives on this case, like I said. And their first step was to kind of appeal to the public, because they really didn't have any other leads. So they were just trying to see, basically, did anyone see anything that day? Please, if you saw anything that you might not even think was suspicious, but might just be related to what we're talking about in some way, call and tell us. Luckily, they did receive some calls.
Okay.
One witness that they got a call from, a man in Sun City, reported that on the day of the crime that he had seen a white van driving down the road at a high rate of speed, being closely followed behind by a red pickup truck.
Sounds like our guy.
Right? It was following so closely behind, so much so that they, traveling at that high rate of speed, they even ran through a stop sign. Can you believe it? A stop sign.
That's one of the worst crimes I've heard.
I know most locals don't know, but Sun City is like our old people community here. in Arizona. So like this man that called is definitely an older gentleman. That is just like he blew through a stop sign. Like that's 100% what happened.
This reminds me so much of the Ingrid case where like we have no evidence. Like, did anyone see anything? And he's like, well, I saw that red car that was parked real bad.
Yep.
And I'm like, yep.
It really is. The curmudgeon-y old man saves the day with his, like, he's just like, man, these cars, like, they just don't know what they're doing.
It's the first sign of being a criminal. Can you park? Can you drive? If the answer is no, you might be a criminal.
You might be a criminal, yeah.
You might be a criminal.
You might be a criminal. This witness in Sun City also reported that the truck was being driven by a white male in his 20s or 30s with dark hair, though he could not recall the make or model of the truck.
Because it didn't have one, because it was an armored vehicle, because it was custom made for Wells Fargo.
This was just the red truck that you're talking about, so the other truck that was following close
never
behind.
mind.
This was just like a red pickup truck, so it could have been like a red Nissan, but...
And this was the 90s, they all looked the same.
They did. They really did.
I'm about to get fucking berated by our car friends. Like, fucking Jake and Chris are gonna come for us. They'll be like, what do you mean all red pickup trucks look the same?
Well,
this
we're
is
gonna get
clearly
a
a
whole
Chevy
lesson.
Tahoe, and this is a Nissan fucking Ford. This is a Ford 150. You're fucking blind, you dumb bitch. And I'm like, yeah.
One is square and one has more rectangular shapes. Like, come on.
This one's lights are 2 inches from the bumper, but this one is 4 inches from the bumper, and they're slightly indented.
It's like you don't even like trucks.
I don't.
I don't
like trucks. I'm sorry. I drive a very small compact car. That's where my heart lies. That's it.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm never gonna make you drive a truck.
I have driven a truck once. I did not find it pleasurable.
You know, neither did these guys. Clearly, they were not driving it well.
No, they're driving like criminals.
They're driving like criminals. But yeah, with that being said, and that was kind of the best lead that investigators had so far. So they really tried to just get as much information as they could from this eyewitness. Mm-hmm. They provided the witness dozens of photos of different makes and models of other kinds of red pickup trucks in hopes that this would kind of help him jog his memory and therefore narrow down like the list a little bit further, even just a little bit.
I feel like he pointed to all of them and goes, yeah, it looks like this.
That's essentially what happened. Like he was so honest and was just like, this is not helping. I don't know. Like I gave you what I know, which honestly is the best thing, because there's a lot of times I know when like witnesses try to be a little over helpful, like they want to be helpful, they want to provide information, and so they like even if they don't realize it, like subconsciously, like our memories are really not that good. Witnesses are already so unreliable in general, so pressing them is like such a risky thing, because it's just like they could give you wrong information so easily. He could just give you bullshit so easily.
Yeah, it's like you thought it was a red pickup truck, but it was actually a blue saloon.
Yep. So thankfully in this case, he gave them the information he had and was very adamant about not knowing what he didn't know.
Good for him, because especially an older gentleman, like I wouldn't be surprised if they would start waffling. Going, but I know a red pickup truck. It probably was this one, but it also could have been this one. But it's definitely not this one. I know for sure.
100%. Like you said, don't insult my car knowledge. I know what kind of red pickup truck it was. Like I could totally see that happening. Yeah. Luckily it didn't.
This was the 90s.
It was the 90s, but this was, like I said, this was a good lead. They got a little bit of information from that. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they weren't able to locate the truck from this lead right away. However, this did kind of, like I said, give them at least a little bit of info. They got a description of someone. Mm-hmm. They know that it's a gentleman, at least one gentleman that's involved, right? And they know that there is another vehicle. So there's at least 2 people involved in this, and that's something. We're looking for a team of people. This is not at least a duo of people, but
yeah, it's 2+, and we know that they have a red car.
Yes. So even though it didn't go anywhere right away, it's good information to have. Mm-hmm. They did kind of get stuck in limbo for a little bit, for about a month, until December of 1994. It was then when they received a call from another witness, a woman this time, who claimed to have more information that might be relevant to the crime. Obviously, Detective Clayton and Lowe immediately went to meet with her. Yeah. In her initial interview with detectives, she had given them the name of her boyfriend, James Greenham, or Yoda, as his friends called him, because he kind of, I guess, resembled Yoda. I don't know, I've seen pictures of him. I don't really see it. I think that's an insult to Yoda.
Maybe he was just short. You know what people were like in the 90s? Like, you're small?
I guess maybe, I don't know. I'll get you a picture. I'll let you decide. She explained that James had been living with her and had made a very, very specific and strange comment recently that just kind of like stuck in her brain, in the back of her brain. She just hasn't been able to forget it, so she decided to call the police and say, what he had said. Just share with them what he had said.
Okay.
He had said to her something to the effect of, "What would you do if I robbed an armored car?" Which is, again, an extremely specific question.
I think if there hadn't been a robbery, it would have been like, oh, you. But because a robbery had just fucking happened, I like, what possesses Yoda? What the fuck?
Now,
what the fuck, Yoda?
like-
He's just like, rob a car. What would do?
what would do? Literally, like, granted, sometimes I ask my husband very dumb questions. I'm like, would you still love me if I was a lamp? And he has to be like, yes, Alana, I would still love you if you were a lamp. But I don't think that is where James Greenham's thought process was with this, where he's like, hey, would you still love me if I robbed an armored car? I think that was some guilt talking.
At the very least, it's a very disturbing imagination. Because I'm sure this has been in the news.
Mm-hmm.
This has been in the news, and it's been, what, like 4 months?
This has been 1 month.
1 month. Oh, it was in November.
This happened
Yeah,
in
that's
November.
enough time. That's enough time for people to know that somebody died. Maybe he just saw it and he was like, I could do that.
Yeah. Right? Like, just, I guess.
I'm a criminal.
I'm a criminal. I can do crime. I can crime. I can crime with the best of them. And so he tried. And he failed. No. Yeah, I don't know. Babe, what would you do if I robbed an armored car? I don't
would
know.
report you to the police like I am doing right now.
That is the right answer. And she had the right answer. So like you said, she went to the authorities, told them that, and they were like, yeah, thank you so much for coming to it. Like, truly, thank you. Because this makes our jobs a lot easier.
Yeah.
So detectives then asked for any other information, that might be relevant to the case. Since we're, having sherry time right now.
Yeah, I'm suddenly $50,000 richer for some reason. And also we got this brand
Don't
new
read ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Don't read ahead. So, she let the detectives know that James sometimes worked as a bounty hunter, though he was usually pretty broke. This man was like, hey babe, can I have $5? Like, he was one of those broke guys that
Fucking dump his ass. Girl, you deserve better.
But as you just so lovely pointed out, he all of a sudden, in December of 1994, just so happened to seemingly come into quite a bit of money. And he started paying off debts to people that he owed money to. Just all of a sudden, quite a bit of money when this guy went from being a loser broke bitch 2 minutes ago.
I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
He's such the type that I'm like, he's too dumb to have done this. Like,
You're not
he doesn't
wrong.
strike me.
You're
as,
not
oh my
wrong.
God.
You're not wrong. As usual, she is right. But let's not read ahead. We already know there's a second man involved.
I'm losing my fucking mind.
So, as you can probably guess, James was almost immediately a prime suspect. Though, they do know that they were looking for at least 2 men. This had been the break that they were looking for. Authorities continued to question the now ex-girlfriend of James Greenham to get as much information as they could.
Date a banker. Come on.
Which
Date
is
a veterinarian.
Right. There's so many better guys out there. This guy is such a loser, such a loser criminal. You could just
a criminal.
just a low life criminal.
He's a criminal. Go straight to jail.
Straight to jail. But yeah, luckily, through this questioning, they were able to get the name of another suspect. The name that they got was Timothy Ring.
I think Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy
I was like,
Chalamet.
wow, he was prolific in 1994. But now I know that this Mr. Ring, I happen to remember the name of this case.
You
It was
do.
Ring versus Arizona.
You
so
do.
unless there's a different Mr. Timothy Ring, I think I know where this is going.
Don't read ahead. It's fine. Stop using your context clues. Put those away.
Okay, sorry.
Just think about the crime. Just think about the crime.
I think it's the crime.
Just...
I'm a twuck, and he's gone.
So, Timothy was a friend of James, and like him, was also a bounty hunter, and was also known for not having a lot of money.
What the fuck?
Both
What
men...
the fuck?
Yeah, they were both losers. Both men also...
Why are all the criminals woozers?
Because you know the answer to that. I'm not answering that dumb question. I'm not answering that dumb question.
I know, I said it more just out of anger.
Fair.
It was rhetorical.
Yeah.
I know why they're losers, because they do crime.
Yeah, it's true. The other odd similarity that these men had in common was their previous employment history. They had both worked as detention officers in the past.
Oh, of course
which
they
I
have.
think is how they met. Don't quote me on that, but I think that might have been how they met.
Oh my god.
James was also at one point a full-on police officer.
Why does that not surprise me, though?
Right?
Like, being a police officer, it attracts, like, the best of humanity, the people who really want to do right and be good. But it also attracts the fucking worst, where it's just people wanting to be evil legally.
Yes, you're so not wrong. You're so not wrong.
I try not to be.
It really does, like you said. It's the best and the worst. And to
Yeah.
filter that out, I don't know how you do that.
Unfortunately, the worst tend to get better reports, because they're so
Deceptive.
determined to be evil.
Yeah.
And they're deceptive, but they're determined to be evil, and so they like arrest a lot of people, and they like infiltrate a lot of crime because they are doing it with malicious purpose, whereas the good don't want to see evil in the common. They try not to profile, they try not to stereotype, and they're so quickly drowned out by the people who just want the notch on the belt to be like, yep, I arrested that guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that he didn't have any drug on him, but I arrested him.
Yeah. If he didn't do it now, he would have done it then. Like, just like
Yeah.
that, like, kind of playing God almost, like you said, in that way. And
It's power. It's all about power.
as we can see throughout the next little bit here, Ring is pretty obsessed with power. Yeah, he was also, in addition to being a police officer, he was even a CI, which stands for Confidential Informant for the FBI.
Good. Great.
So he had a lot of connections, though his former police chief described Ring as a conniving and frequent liar.
I've been called that before. Just by you earlier today.
I would never. It's on tape. Yeah, but
All right.
it didn't
yeah,
surprise
and what made him a criminal, huh?
right?
Being a liar doesn't make you a criminal.
It's true. But they said that Ring was fired when he refused to respond to a murder scene, choosing instead to engage in a high-speed chase. So going back to what you just said about them needing to pursue people, because that is what he's chasing over the actual justice that he's assigned to seek.
Yeah.
That illustrated your point to a T. Like, you profiled this man
Yeah.
before even knowing. Like, it really was who he was at his core.
Yeah. He was just evil. He
just
was
evil.
power-driven and evil.
Yeah. So Greenham's ex also told authorities that she believed Timothy could have been involved in this, which tracks.
Yeah.
This new evidence, all this new information, prompted investigators to want to really look into both of these men at this point. So monitoring the men, though, proved to be a little challenging for investigators. Having the work history that they did, these men had a little bit of an edge over authorities that the average citizen just doesn't.
Because they knew how it worked. They
Knew how it worked from the inside, and also were pretty seasoned criminals on the outside. So they know investigative techniques. They had a little bit of an edge, which was unfortunate. This meant that authorities needed to step up their game if they were really going to make progress on this. So the local Glendale Police Department partnered with the Phoenix FBI branch to launch a full-scale
Oh
investigation.
my god. I love the scale that this is going to.
Special Agent Ron Myers of the Phoenix FBI said that on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as the complexity of this investigation, I would give it somewhere around a 9.5.
Oh.
It involved just about everything that the FBI and the police do when it comes to conducting investigations. So they literally they left no stone unturned.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, I as sad as it sounds, like, I know why they prioritized this case. It's because it was legal money.
Yes.
It was like federal money. You know, it's banks.
Yes.
If this was literally anything else, if this had been a robbery of like a convenience store, or if this had been a charity or a church or literally any other like business, people wouldn't have they were like, sorry, we can't help you.
Yep.
And it would have just sat. It would have just sat, and the people who did it would get away, and then they do it again, and they do it again. But because someone was killed, and it was federal money,
You're so not wrong.
it's game over, man.
You're so not wrong. Yeah, a lot of people wanted answers to this. Whether it was for the right reason or not, who am I to say? But a lot of people did want answers to this.
I'm invested in the justice for John because
I am too.
he
That's
was a
why I preface so hard at the beginning of this that this is for John. This is for John and his daughter Lisa and their family, because to me that's what this is. This is a full-on murder investigation. This is not about the money. It like I don't know.
The money at least helped fuel it. But as sad as it is, they were like the FBI and the police were investigating for the money.
Yes.
But it should have been for John.
Yeah.
And I refuse to let it not be for John. So justice for John.
Justice for John, and that's why we're here. So yeah, like I said, they launched a full-scale investigation. They set up an armored car task force that began a 24-hour surveillance on both men.
Okay.
And I do mean 24 hours. They sat outside their houses at night, followed them around town. Every single trip that they went, from, small little local shops to, dentist office, wherever they were going, FBI followed with them. They wanted to know what they were doing at all times.
Very John Wayne Gacy of them.
Yeah, kind of is, yeah.
Sorry. I creeped you out a little bit there.
My brain starts going. I'm like, it really is. Thankfully, this surveillance did prove fruitful. They discovered that both Greenham and Ring had made several expensive cash purchases between December of 1994 and early 1995.
We bought a golden skateboard. We bought a new red pickup truck because our old one we had rammed into a tree somewhere because we're idiots. We bought a laundromat because we could.
When I have a list of all the stuff they bought, it's insane.
God. I really want to hear this list now.
We'll get there in just a minute. But these purchases were consistent from the statement from Greenham's ex, and it really only took a few weeks for this investigation to reveal a third accomplice by the name of William Ferguson.
Oh, wow.
He also just so happened to be a former police officer.
Of course, because evil finds each other.
Yeah.
Like they just somehow if your evil is a specific flavor, you will attract that flavor of evil.
Yeah, it's true. Like you said, just pieces of shit like that seek each other out 100%.
Oh my god,
it's so unfortunate.
It is, but like, how many crimes do we have of just evil finding evil?
It's so true. But again, the positive things, this intense surveillance, they were learning a lot. They also confirmed two other pretty notable facts from this 24-hour surveillance. One, they confirmed that Timothy Ring did, in fact, own a red pickup truck.
Great.
And number two, just like John Greenham's ex said, all three of these men were swimming in cash. These idiots were not subtle at all about their spending.
Of course not.
Multiple neighbors confirmed seeing things like crazy high-dollar purchases, but never really saw the men working. So they thought that they've got things, like you said, new trucks, new motorcycles, new ATVs, boats.
Boats? What do you need boats for in Arizona? There's nowhere to boat.
Oh, you think that's dumb? They also got scuba equipment.
Where? Where are you scubaing?
You know what?
There's no water in Arizona.
I don't know, but I have a scuba shop right up the street from me. I literally have, and for my whole life, I've wondered why it's there, but now doing this case, I'm like, was that the scuba shop they got stuff from? It's right around the corner.
I'm so dumbfounded. You have no water. I know this was the 90s and it was a little less hot, but there's no water in Arizona.
We have like one lake. We have one lake, and it's like constantly in a drought season. Like they're like, go Lake Pleasant. It's pretty shit, but go there.
Where are you putting the boats?
I don't know.
Where are you putting the boats? Are you driving to California? What the fuck is going on, Kyle? This crime is making, like, you expected me to be sad. I'm outraged. I'm raging right now. I'm so upset. I'm so upset at these fucking losers.
I've never seen this face
in the desert. What the fuck?
I have no answers for you. I have literally no answers for you. Like, I honestly don't. When I read that though, I knew you were gonna like be.
I'm dumbfounded.
This reaction was so.
Oh my fucking god.
It was so much better than I expected. I knew that this was going to provoke something, but this was just.
You have me at boats.
You lost it at boats. That's why, that's how I knew I got her. I was like, she lost it at boats, guys. I ain't even gotten to the fucking scuba equipment yet.
I am very attached to boats, as you know. I'm 6 episodes attached to boats, as the fans will know. And I know a lot about boat. And I know that Arizona is not a boat place. So what the fuck is up? Timothy Chalamet, ring dong ding dong. Why are you fucking buying boats in the desert? Oh my god. Where are you putting it? Where does it go?
Like I said, we have a few small lakes here, but we don't have an ocean. We don't have anywhere that I feel like scuba equipment is warranted. Like, I don't know where he would be taking this. Even Lake Havasu, like, I think is, like, probably our deepest lake. I don't know why you would be scuba diving there. I don't even think that's, like, you could. I think they would be like, no, I'm sorry, like, that's crazy. You can't.
There's probably so much garbage in those lakes, you can't scuba dive.
Exactly. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Oh my god. We need to change because I'm getting fired up again. I'm getting so angry. We need to move on.
They also they bought things like jewelry, weapons. One of the detectives said that one of these gentlemen had a penchant for topless dancers. So his thing was leaving big tips for these ladies.
Big tips for the titties.
Big tips for the big nips. I said it. I can't take it back now.
That's a recorded thing that we have.
Yep.
We have that recorded. We have that live.
I don't want Spooky Dad to hear that.
Oh my god. I was going to say tips for the titties, but sure, yeah, we can do big tips for big nips. We can do that. We can,
bigger the nip, bigger the tip.
Oh my fucking god.
What is this episode?
What's happening? I'm outraged, but I'm also flabbergasted. I'm dumbfounded. I've been bamboozled. I'm reading 6 words from Sunday. What the fuck is going on?
What's going on? What the fuck is up, Kyle?
What the fuck is up, Kyle? Step the fuck up.
Yeah.
I'm vining right now. That's how outraged I am.
I mean, it's warranted. These men were really making, like, just such stupid decisions. Like, idiots. Like, I don't know. So, like I said, this guy that had the penchant for women, to continue on with how subtle he was, he said, hey ladies, want to hang out with me in my new car? I'm going to take you to the parking lot of a local small airport and we're going to do a photo shoot in front of my new car. You want to do that with me, ladies? You'll wear some swimsuits, it'll be so nice. I'll pay you so much money. And they said, sure. And they did. And the FBI was watching the whole time. So he was taking pictures of the ladies on the car and the FBI was taking pictures of him, taking pictures of the ladies on the car. The whole time.
Chat can't see my face right now, but my jaw is just, I am clenched. I honestly, I think I would have decked this guy. If I was in the FBI, I would have decked this guy 2 ways from Sunday at this point. I would have blown every cover and I'd be like, I am going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm going to personally separate you from your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. I could never be a cop. I'm too
right?
angry.
Oh no, like you said, this would I don't know how I would stay in my seat. Like, it would be crazy. Yeah. So they were just flaunted. They were not, like, as much, like,
they were being idiots.
As much training, quote unquote, as they had, and I say that very lightly, as much as they knew about the system and how everything worked and how careful they were stupid. They were making the dumbest mistakes. Like, just, I don't know what you could do that would be dumber than this, other than just, like, maybe tattooing on your forehead, I stole money from Wells Fargo.
I think I understand why I'm so angry. And it's because I've been watching a lot of CSI. I've been watching a lot of CSI Miami.
And this reads like a CSI game.
And I've been watching a lot of CSI New York. And let me tell you, they have 2 very different energies. CSI New York is very cold and calculating. The bad guys are master manipulators. They're evil, but they're interesting. And they're like posed, and they're like 6 steps ahead of the cops. The CSI investigation, they're always just like, how are we going to catch up to them? And it's calculated. Yeah. And CSI Miami is we're taking pictures of naked ladies in front of an airport with our brand new car. Mm-hmm. And I thought we were watching a CSI New York episode. And we're not even watching a CSI Miami episode, because at least then they have water to put the boats on. We're watching fucking CSI Arizona. And it's a cold reminder that CSI has calculated criminals and real life has idiots who get lucky. And I was coldly reminded this. I'm not in a CSI episode. We're not even CSI Arizona. We're not CSI Miami. We're not CSI New York. We're not even Vegas. We're just in real life surrounded by morons who got lucky.
Who got lucky. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting heated up again.
This was the exact outrage that I was hoping for, because, like, honestly, like, I wanted to spend this entire episode just making fun of these criminals. Making fun of these absolute idiots, because they absolutely deserve it. Like, they're
idiots. They're losers. They're parasites. They're parasites. They're taking
Leeching.
something. They got lucky, and they took something that didn't belong to them, that belongs to people, regular people like you and me, and then they decided to waste it on things they can't even use. And as someone who makes purchases often for things I can't use, at least I own up to it. I'm like, I was stupid. I bought myself this thing I can't use.
And in your case, no one gets hurt. A man literally doesn't die at the expense of you wanting to buy something that you don't need.
No, it's not even like I don't need it. It feels like something I physically can't use. But it wastes away in my attic, and that's okay, because I bought it with my money that I earned.
Exactly.
I think that's what really gets me about theft and fraud. Like with Bonnie and Clyde, like, I don't know, like the crimes seemed whimsical because they were old. Like, it was like, it was the 30s, everyone was depressed, everyone was poor, and like the government was taking all the money, and nobody had any money. I mean,
it was almost like a Robin Hood type of a vibe to it.
Yeah,
It was like they weren't
hurting. And they were barely hurting regular people. Like the people they hurted was cops who were benefiting off of making people poor. Yes. But this is just taking things from people.
From just people that bank at Wells Fargo.
Yep. This would have been me if I lived in Arizona in 1994.
Yeah.
This would have been me.
It would have been you. So yeah, just all three men, unbelievably stupid.
Complete idiots. Complete idiots.
The exact opposite of what subtle is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, at least this did provide some very good evidence for investigators. So they took all of this evidence to a judge and used it as probable cause to get wiretaps installed on all three of the suspects' phones.
Okay.
This proved to be useful almost immediately.
Yeah, because they're fucking idiots. They're just like, hey, babe.
Because they're...
Guess what? Want to come join me on my boat? I haven't found water yet to use it, but I got some scuba gear, and we can, like, once we find, like, any water, we could just, like, dump it in. And we'll just hang out. We can drink beers on the boat.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. That was the first conversation.
Reminds me a lot of that moment in Only Murders in the Building where they're in New Jersey and they're just having like a party in the boat. Like the boat's not on water. It's in like a trailer in the person's driveway. And I'm like, that's all I'm imagining they're using the boat for. It's like, we're having a boat party. We can't afford the water, but we have the boat.
I have seen people do that in Arizona. I'm not going to lie. Like you said, it's parked in the front driveway and you're in the front driveway. Everyone's got their dumb little red cups. And for some reason, there's people in the boat. I honestly, now that I said that, I've been a dumb person in a boat on land before.
Have you been in a boat?
Have
you been in a boat in Arizona?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. Moving on.
We got PTSD going on.
Anyway.
I won't judge you. I will judge these guys, though, because they robbed an armored car and they killed John. So, like, I'm judging them.
You should judge them for that.
But you, I will forgive. It's okay that you had a boat party in a boat in Arizona that wasn't in the water. There's no
water.
There's no water in Arizona. You photosynthesize. That's it.
That's it. In one notable recorded phone conversation, Ring told Ferguson that he was not happy with their third partner, Greenham. He said, Was
it because he was stupid? Was it...
Pretty much.
Was it because he bought a boat in Arizona?
Almost. He said, he was doing so good too, but I'm cutting him off. Ferguson initially understood cutting him off as Ring wanting to kill Greenham and was kind of like, shucks, that'll ruin our plans. Like, it was not like a big reaction at all. Like, he was like, literally his exact words were, "Aw man, won't that fuck up our plans for up north?" And Ring had to clarify.
Up north?
Yeah. Ring had to clarify that he meant no, just money-wise. Just gonna cut him off money-wise.
It's like, we're gonna take him out. Oh, on a date or take him out? And he's like, we'll see how the day goes.
Pretty much, yeah. But then Ring said kind of something that clarified a lot. He said, "You don't understand. I hold both his and mine." So that, to investigators, really only meant one thing. That means that Ring is kind of the leader of this.
Yes, and he's got the money. He's got most of the money.
He's holding all of the money, which means he has all of the control, which, like I said earlier, Ring seems almost addicted to being in control. Like, he has to be in control.
Yeah.
Which this just supports that.
What's up north? I want to know what's up north.
I actually don't know what the plans up north were. Up north, like, usually that just refers to, like, because we live down here, like, Phoenix, Glendale, stuff like that. We call that the valley, and then everything else, like, is in the mountains. That's up north. So that's, like, Payson, Prescott, Cottonwood, like all those areas up there. I don't know. Maybe they had plans to get a house, go ATVing up there. Maybe it was just like a day plan. They were going to go fishing. They were going to go take their stuff up to the lake in Payson and use their scuba gear. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know. But that's what he said.
All right. Okay. Sure.
What had prompted this conversation about cutting off James was that he had pretty indiscreetly flaunted a new truck in front of his ex-wife. Probably in some sort of an attempt to show off, kind of like, look what you're missing, babe. I got a new truck. Your new man doesn't have a new truck, does he? Probably something like that. That's how I imagine it going.
My new man's not going to go to jail.
Yeah, true.
And then she would have moonwalked out of there. Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
But yeah, it really, that conversation, this whole thing just continued to drive home how dumb these three were.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, at this point, like, from the beginning when they originally committed this crime, all they really needed to do was not do this. And they may have gotten away with it.
Honestly, if they had held onto the cash and, like, every week they had deposited $3,000.
Literally. Just paid some bills.
I'm not giving advice to criminals. If you do this, I hate you. Yeah. But if I was a criminal, which I'm not, I am just a liar. I'm a conniving liar, but I'm not a criminal. I haven't killed anybody yet. But if I had robbed an armored car and not killed John, because he's an innocent boy, you could just deposit in 3,000 chunks and not spend it on hooliganry.
Like buying a truck, an ATV, a boat, and scuba gear in the same month. And like when you're unemployed, when you literally don't have a tax return to show for yourself.
Yes.
When you have no source of income.
Oh my God. God, that's the thing with people who want power. They just, like, they want all of the influence and none of the work that it takes to get there. They just want, it's shortcuts. It's life shortcuts.
It's like a cheat code for real life, but it takes all of the fun out of it, ruins the game for everybody else, and in this case, they literally
and it gets you arrested and deported to prison, where there are
deported to prison.
Deported to prison. I don't know why I said it that way. They get deported to prison. They get forcibly removed from their current circumstances and are elevated and moved over to a separate sense of circumstances, which happen to be prison.
I like.
They were straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
So yeah, after surveilling these men for a little while longer, investigators really started to understand the dynamic of the group, more fully. As we've already discussed, they really honed in on Timothy Ring being the ringleader, no pun intended, because he just really had so much power and control over the other two. And between the two others, they decided that James Greenham was the weakest link. Now that they have the dynamics figured out, they kind of have some proof. Their next step is to kind of put something in motion. I think one of the detectives, when I was listening to him talk, he said we like tickle the situation, just like try to get something to happen, like stimulate it to invoke a reaction. And I'm like, okay, it's a funny way to put it, but I'm with you.
Okay.
The next thing that the police did was pretty smart. They laid a trap for the boys. They engineered a local news broadcast about the robbery investigation, which they intentionally included several inaccuracies.
Okay.
And it worked, just like they had hoped.
Right, because they're idiots. They're like, actually, that's not how it went down.
Literally.
Actually, we killed a guy with a shot to the temple, and we had a red truck. Not that I know that, but anyway, I'm going to be on my boat. Yeah. In Arizona.
Even better than that. After the report aired, Timothy called James right away. He was like, hey, bro. Remind me to talk to you tomorrow and tell you what was on the news tonight. Very important and also fairly good. Like, really? Like, that's because he's thinking, like, okay, they're not onto us. Like, so you're just like, it's good. They're dumb. The police are stupid, man. We're getting away with it.
The police are so stupid. They're not buying a boat in Arizona, like, smart like we are. They're not buying scuba gear with their paychecks. Like, we're fucking geniuses, bro. Like, we're fucking, like hit me up at that bar with them girls, with them titties, and then we'll just like buy something stupid, and then we'll fucking get into a car accident because we're drinking while driving. And I'm getting heated up again. I need to calm down.
I love it. Please, we need to be angry. This really was ridiculous.
I'm so angry at these guys, and I would have strangled them.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. I think Lisa
them.
would have appreciated that.
I'm gonna fucking throttle them.
This message kind of confirmed that the guys did have some insider knowledge of the heist, because again, why would this be good news? What to anybody?
Great news! They're gonna solve that crime. I'm so proud of us, bro. Unrelated to the $50,000 I've just put in your paycheck.
Right? Yeah. So again, just one of those things where it's like, dude, it's just so obvious. The next step from there, they again wanted to kind of provoke some more of the situation. So the police released 3 composite sketches of the suspects, claiming that these were the people involved in the crime, and they released them near Greenham's apartment. Like literally, like they just put them like right outside, like on like a pole, like right outside.
He's like, "This is for you."
The funniest part was these weren't even from witnesses. They made these themselves, and they specifically had one of the sketches. Like they gave the artist a picture of Greenham, and they're like, "Make that sketch look exactly like this man, please." And then he did.
Love it.
And then they put it right out of his house, and they're like, "Hey, we're looking for this guy." And
I love it.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh no, how did they find me out?"
Literally. So, and again, he's the weakest link, so they're really trying to put a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
After that did ruffle his feathers. And then so the next step was Detective Clayton went to his apartment, left his card and a note on his door saying, "Please call me," referencing lead 176. Which was not actually a reference to anything to do with the case, but was actually just Detective Clayton's academy class number.
Amazing.
Detective Clayton said that this was just kind of his way to inject a little bit of humor into the situation, like his own little, like, you know.
I love it. He's just stirring the pot. He's just like, "We're gonna make some stressed soup right now. Just gonna really, but let this boil over. Let's really freak this poor shit out."
Pretty much. Which, yeah, I love it. I love that he's like, I gotta find a way to, you know, make my job enjoyable.
Yeah.
By making it miserable for someone else.
Yeah, if you're gonna deal with idiots, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Like that's it. He's like, okay, we're dealing with some fucking fuckwits who got lucky. Let's show them how it goes.
Let's show these boys. Yeah. So, yeah, it was not so enjoyable for James Greenham. When he came home and found this note, it sent him into a full-on panic. I mean, like.
Baby.
Like it literally was like a cartoon. Like he saw it, and I feel like I can imagine it. Like he like looked around, and then immediately this is factual.
Yeah.
He ran right back to his truck, just started driving, drove out all the way into the middle of the desert, calling Timothy Ring the whole time.
Oh my god.
Just on repeat. Left him a message. One of the first ones
Bro.
he said.
Bro.
Literally, he goes, "Yeah, what part of 911 don't you fucking understand? Fucking call me." Like, and just, like, so pissed off, just, like, panicking.
What part of 911 don't you understand, bro? And if I was the ringleader, I'd be like, what? Bro, yeah. What do those numbers mean?
What do those numbers mean?
What do those numbers mean?
So, James was truly frazzled. This had worked exactly like the detectives were hoping it would. The funny part to me is that Greenham didn't leave the desert. Ring didn't answer him right away. So Greenham was just, like, out in the desert, like, just literally all day
just
by himself,
stressing.
Panicking, waiting for this man to call him back, like, until sundown. Ring finally returns the call and basically told him, "Yeah, man, I don't know, that's nothing to sweat about. I don't know." Like, just, like, so nonchalant, like...
Bro, I've never met a 911.
Literally, like, I'm sure...
Is that a pizza place?
I'm sure that's such an easy stance when it's not your apartment that this is being left at.
Yeah, like, surely not the weakest link who knows all the information of the heist and was there and can implicate you. Like, my guy, drive out to the desert.
We're dealing with idiots. What don't you remember? We're dealing with idiots.
God, I don't want to give this guy's advice, because, like, this is so fucking stupid. I'm like, just turn yourself in at this point. Like, if your ringleader is not supporting you as a criminal should, if you're not feeling supported in your workplace, just turn yourself fucking in. It's over for you. It's over for you. It's obviously over.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
So, tells him, "Hey, don't worry, the police left that. It's probably nothing. Don't sweat it. Just come home. It'll be fine."
Just come home, where the cops know you are. They left a note on your door. Great.
It's fine.
Sound advice. Just turn yourself in, my guy. Like, it's over for you.
Yeah.
Like, just... The jig is up. The boat is empty. There's no water in Arizona.
There's no water in Arizona.
There's no more titties for you. Just fucking go home.
You've seen
Turn
the movie
yourself
Rango? We are that. We have... The bank is lying. We have no more water. Go home.
Just go home.
Don't buy a boat. Don't buy scuba gear. Don't pass go and collect $200. Go home.
Don't do that.
No water.
Just go home. Turn yourself in. It's over, my guy. It's over. There's no more scoopering for you. There's no more scoopering in your future.
Scoopering.
It's not in the cards.
So, you know, with the sound logic presented by Ring, eventually Greenham did decide to go home.
Great.
The next day,
Great.
Ring went to Greenham's apartment where the two men discussed what kind of sounded like a cover story. Remember, they have their apartments wiretapped, so they hear this entire conversation.
Yeah.
At one point, Ring had said to him, number one, you still remember the story about pulling me out of the ditch, right? Okay.
What?
Number two, you can't just say, I was at the Four Peaks corner getting out of the ditch, because they're going to go, so how the fuck did you know that was the right day?
What? What?
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening, Kyle? What? Their cover story was one of them got stuck in a ditch and they were all helping the other ones out of the ditch? How long do they think it takes to get someone out of a ditch?
I don't know, but apparently they found scuba deer in the ditch. Like, that was,
Yeah, and a boat. Someone just abandoned.
That's why they were going down there originally, was because they were like, hey, is that scuba gear? It cannot be scuba gear and a boat in a ditch. And then it was.
It's 3 brand new cars and ATVs and a golden skateboard and a laundromat. Amazing. Fucking, we're gonna get so many potted plants out of this. We're living the good life. You know how many hotel key cards we found in that ditch? Like 4. And they're all paid for.
They're all paid for.
For a month.
For a month, yeah. It was like that, yeah. So that was apparently what they were rehearsing. At least that's kind of what it sounds like based off of it. Like, I don't know what that would be referencing. The rest of the conversation was basically just him trying to calm down James, who continued to panic about the whole thing. It was just like,
sobbing.
They're gonna get me, man. Like, they're gonna get me.
No. Yeah. They're gonna take me. And they're gonna take my food and my scuba gear. And they're gonna take my girlfriend, but also my second girlfriend who doesn't know, but my first girlfriend. They're gonna take my ATV and my golden skateboard and my laundromat. I don't even wash my clothes. It's the same clothes I wore at the robbery. I'm covered in blood, dude.
This is a spot-on impression of James Greenham.
Thanks.
I know you haven't seen any of the security footage yet, but it's really you're doing good with him.
Thanks. I'm a method actor.
She does such a good job. But yeah, that was basically the conversation. So another recorded phone call between Timothy Ring and William Ferguson revealed that Ring was kind of puzzled by the police attention that they were putting on Greenham, stating, his house is clean. Mine, on the other hand, contains a very large bag. Once again, indicating himself as the leader of the group and admitting, I have shit at my house. Like, what?
It's just in a bag? It's just in a bag?
Yep.
They just left it in the bag they took it in?
I'm going to reveal something later. Not just a bag, lady. A bag that has his whole name on it. It literally on it says Timothy Ring in all capital letters. He's that stupid.
I can't.
It's like he labeled it for investigators.
It's like he left a calling card in the armored truck being like, it was me. Come find me. Woo! You'll never catch me. And then at the end he's like, how did you guys find me?
Pretty much.
I'm bamboozled.
Yeah.
I was a genius.
So from there, it was decided, kind of like you said, that because Greenham was so weak, Timothy would be the one to call back the police for James, because that's not weird as fuck, right? A grown man calling the police for another grown man?
But also, just cut him off. And, sorry, I'm not giving advice to criminals, but just cut him off, the way that you meant to.
Yeah.
Because he's clearly the weak link. He's clearly, you're gonna get implicated in the plot. The plan up north, fuck the plan up north. You don't need him for that. Whatever it was. You don't need it.
You don't need it.
You don't need it. But Jesus Christ, my guy. When you become his parent...
That's really what it feels like.
This is not someone you need to rob a bank with. This is not someone you need in your plans when you are parenting your accomplice.
But I think that, it gave Ring a weird sense of control again, and he really fed into that. So, Greenham, being almost, submissive and being you handle everything, I will do exactly as you say, sir. That...
Whatever you want, bro.
Yeah, I think that was kind of addicting to Ring. I do think there was a part of it that, he... As much as, you said, the logical thing would be to run away from this, how do you run away from having complete and utter control over another person when that's what you're addicted to?
You're 100%. It's all power. It's all power, and he fucking lived off of any modicum of power.
He did.
And he had power in this situation, but it was not power he should have used.
No.
Because he's an idiot, and now he's just implicated himself in the crime.
Yup. So, here's how the conversation went. At first, he had to leave a message for Detective Clayton. He said, hey, you left your card on my door. It says, please call in reference to a case. Refer to lead 176. I have no idea what this is about or what you're asking me, but you can call me back if you want.
Did he call with Greenham's phone or with his own phone?
I don't know. Probably his own because of what he said next. So they ended up connecting later that same day. And when they finally did connect, he said, hi, I'm calling for Jim Greenham. I just want to let you know that he's out of town. I take care of his place when he's gone.
Amazing.
So this is the 90s. It could have been a house phone. It could have been his house phone that he was calling off of. But it sounds like they might have had cell phones because at some point Greenham called from the desert. So I'm assuming Greenham had his own phone, had his own cell phone. It wouldn't make much sense for him to be out of town and not have his cell phone. But again, these weren't the smartest criminals, so I don't know.
It's just, I don't want to give them any credit in any capacity because they don't deserve it. I'm going to be honest, he probably had a house phone and it was tapped, but he called everyone with his cell phone. But then I'm thinking fucking Ringo Dingo fucking called on his own personal cell phone and just like, yeah, I'm here.
I'm here. Yeah. So
I'm in this house.
I take care of his place. What has got to water the plants?
Gotta water the plants. He's got so many plants. That's the only place that we have water in Arizona is the plants. Have you seen my monstera?
So Tim was speaking directly to Detective Clayton at that point. He had told Timothy that the reason that they were contacting James Greenham was because they were following up on a lead where someone said he looked like a sketch that they put out, and because of the truck he had. Timothy confirmed that he did have a truck, but said that it was new. So Detective Clayton kind of playfully responded, yeah, well, it's probably not likely that he's been out doing any armed robberies or anything, right?
I love this detective so much. Oh my god, he is the redeeming quality of this fucking case, is this detective just being like, I recognize an idiot when I see one, and I'm going to have the most fun with these idiots and watch them scramble like ants under a magnifying glass.
He really did. He really did. He's like, you're not committed any armed robberies.
You haven't killed a guy, right? You didn't kill a guy.
That. Ring kind of laughed, what sounded honestly like a kind of a nervous and guilty laugh, because I would listen to this recording and it did. He was kind of like, yeah, I've known him for a long time. I don't think so, but... And then just kind of continued to laugh it off, but didn't, like, actually say no, which I think is a little bit of a sign of guilt.
Yeah, not like, not James, not Jimbo, not my best buddy who I watch the house of when he's out of town and water his monstera. Yeah. I don't, like, he's not the guy.
Yeah.
He's not the guy.
Right?
He's never crimed a day in his life. He's an innocent, hardworking bounty hunter that hasn't brought a guy in over 6 years. And you know what? I never met a more honest guy than him.
It's true. I mean, he's so doe-eyed.
Yeah, he's so innocent and doe-eyed. He's never lied a day in his life.
I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah. So that was kind of how that conversation went. It was just a lot of like cat and mouse of Clayton being like, yeah, I know what piece of shit you are, and Ring being like, haha, I got the cops right where I want them. They're making jokes. They have no idea.
He hung up that phone call going, I think that went well.
Actually, like, he really did. He probably was like such a big dog and like told Greenham, like, don't you, thank God you have me here to handle this. Yeah.
That's how you do it. Mm-hmm. That is how you bamboozle the cops. Now they'll never come for you because you're out of town and I'm watering your monstera.
You're out of town. They'll never come for you again because you're out of town.
You're out of town. You're in the desert with your boat somewhere because there's water in Arizona, apparently. Oh my God.
Interestingly enough, during the same phone call, Timothy just so happened to reveal something to Detective Clayton. He happened to say that he was also working on the investigation of the Wells Fargo heist.
Wait, fucking Ringo Dingo said this?
Ringo said this to Clayton. He said...
He's working on the investigation?
Oh, yeah. He said, between you and me, but just between you, me, and the wall, I'm working on that too. I'm a CI for the FBI.
I can't, Alana, I can't. I can't. Every time he says anything new, anytime he has any conversation with anybody, I'm losing brain cells actively. What the fuck is up, Kyle? What the fuck is up?
Imagine Detective Clayton sitting on the phone with him live in the moment, hearing that. I am sure he had to stifle his laughter.
I'm sure he nearly dropped the phone because he was shaking so bad from the uproarious laughter that escaped this man's body. But because he is a true professional, he held it up like this and went, ha! And then was like, I'm sorry. What would you say?
Please continue.
Please continue. What there was someone walked into my office. Tell me more about how you're an informant. Tell me, what have you seen? What have you heard, Jimbo,
Inform
Rimbo,
me.
Gimbo?
Inform me.
Yeah, you're a CI. Continue the informing. I'm here to be informed. What do you know?
Yeah. He really said that.
Fucking Christ.
So,
on a bike.
of course, Detective Clayton already knew about his past CI work with the FBI, but they also knew that he tried to abuse that relationship in the past as well. So
yeah, he's got a record.
So, actually, fun tidbit, in this investigation, way early on, before they had even identified suspects, before they had identified Timothy Ring as a suspect, right after the heist, Timothy Ring actually approached the FBI himself and offered himself as an informant to help stay on, on top of this. Really wanted to catch those perpetrators.
I fucking hate this guy so much. I hate this man. I hate everything he stands for. I hate the blood that flows through his body and the ground that he walks on. I am experiencing so many feelings, and all of them lead to hatred. I am perplexed. I'm bamboozled. I'm shocked. There's no awe.
There's no awe.
There's no awe. I'm just flabbergasted at the audacity of this idiot, of this creature, of this filth, of this parasite, where he wanted so much power.
Yep. He couldn't help himself.
He couldn't. He's addicted to it.
He's addicted to it. Like you said, to put himself at the set and be like, hey, you know me, your old pal Tim. I would love to help you out on this investigation, guys. Like,
it's me, Timbo Ringo, your favorite FBI consultant. Have I got information for you? I don't know who did it. I didn't see a thing. I'm not involved. I might know a guy, but actually it's unrelated. I'm washing his house right now. I'm watering his monstera. Better luck next time.
Yep.
Jesus,
and he just thought, like, he was just gonna, like, walk away from that. Fine. Like, that he's like you said, I did so good. That went so well. Thank God you had me here, James.
I'm hating. I'm actively hating. Yeah. I'm so filled with hatred. This is bad for my cholesterol. This is how bad I'm
bad
hating.
For your skin. I know. We're gonna have to do a deep cleanse after this. That's for all of these spooky listeners. When we get done with this episode, deep cleanse, because there's a lot of feelings. I told you this was gonna be a really emotional case.
I was expecting tears, not fucking rage.
I promised emotions. I never said which. I said I cried. I didn't tell you what you had to experience.
It's true. Did you cry from rage? Because I feel like that's an apt... Yeah,
I did.
Oh my God. I'm just...
But I got you, right? That's a Muffin Man twist. I cried from rage and not sadness. Haha, got her.
Yep, you got me. Consider me bamboozled. Consider me wearing the fool's hat right now. Sitting here going, I've been hoisted by my own petard. I am raging. I'm raging.
Yeah.
I need a 45-minute nap after this to process the bullshit that has come out of this man's mouth in this December of 1994. We're probably in January at this point.
This mouth diarrhea that he's just like, yes. Oh yeah, no, we are. It's funny you say that because I'm about to give you a date in a minute.
Oh, amazing. Great. Love that. I'm reading your script and I'm not even there. I'm here for it.
You really are. No, we're actually about to talk about one of your favorite dates, actually. February 14th, 1995.
Oh, some might call that Valentine's Day.
Some might not.
And we're in 1995, baby. That was a great year.
It was. A lot of good things happened that year.
It was my personal favorite year.
So, surveillance continued. Police have just provided a staged reenactment of the robbery to local news. Once again, this time including deliberate inaccuracies to try to provoke some response from the boys.
Amazing.
Once again, these dummies fell right into the dum-dum trap.
Yeah, that's what dum-dums will be doing that. They'll be falling in the dum-dum trap. It's what dum-dums do.
It's what dum-dums do, yeah. Yeah, it lowered the guard of all three of the perps. They have nothing on us. Look at all these inaccuracies. They know nothing about the crime. Guys, we're gonna get away with it. Like, we are golden.
They were not, in fact, golden.
They were not, in fact, narrator. They were not, in fact, golden. Ferguson told Ring that he actually laughed when he saw the broadcasts, and Ring called it humorous. Ferguson said that he was not real worried at all now. However, Ring said that he was slightly concerned about the possibility that the police might eventually ask for hair samples.
Why?
I don't know what prompted him to say that specifically, but it was that comment that made investigators start to kind of fear that the men either might attempt to flee, they might catch on to the surveillance, or worse, they might attempt another heist. So they decided that their time to act was coming.
Great. Love that. Stop the dum-dums from enjoying their life in the dum-dum world. Let's put them in the fucking jail where they belong.
Exactly, where they belong! Having concluded that Timothy Ring was the leader and posed the most threat, they wanted to start with him. They wanted to arrest him first.
Yes, because cut the head off the Hydra. It won't be like you have to cut the head off the snake, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that was exactly their thinking. So they needed to be tactable. That's not
Tactable.
a word.
They have to be tactile about it. They gotta be touching all the things.
I can't talk. I don't know word.
I love it.
Oh my god, Tilliam would hate this.
Not Tilliam Tillinson.
Tilliamson.
Oh.
So, though police really did need to be tactful about this, not only did Timothy Ring almost always carry his gun on him, he also was a fairly competent shooter. So, the key was to find a way to get him without him getting to his gun first. So, the plan they came up with was to honestly just lure him into another dum-dum trap. They said, hey, dummy.
Honestly, all you had to do was be like, hey, it's the FBI calling. We need your consultant information, but this has to be done in person. Can you meet us in the station? Did I read ahead again?
Do you work for the FBI? Did you come up with this? Did Detective Clayton and Lowe call you and said, hey, lady, what do we do for this plan? How do we get him in here? Because that is exactly what they fucking did. That is to a T what exactly they did. They said, hey, Tim, we need your expertise, but this can only be done in person. Please, would you be so kind as to grace us with your presence at the local FBI branch in Phoenix? And Tim said, no problem. I'm on there right now. And
I don't mean to predict this. Everything I have said has been in jest. Everything that I have said is for the ha-ha funnies. Everything is to invoke some sort of laughter, being like, oh, if only.
Yep.
But no, every time I do it, you just go, yeah, that's what they did. And I'm like, no.
It was that stupid. It really was. It was a dum-dum trap, and it got the dum-dum.
I got the dum-dums. I should work for the FBI.
You really should. That's why I asked. I'm like, do you? You probably could tell me. So we don't.
I might. I can neither confirm. I can't confirm in a podcast setting that I work for the FBI. But if I don't, I should.
If you don't, guys, I don't know what you're doing because you should hire her.
I would love to work for the FBI, but also that would mean I could never talk on my podcast again. I love my podcast too much.
Okay, never mind.
How about hey FBI, I'll be a consultant.
I'll be a consultant. I'll be a real consultant.
I'll be a real consultant. I know so much about information. I'm great with the context. I'm great with the context clues. You can call me and be like, hey, how should we trap...
She knows how the criminals' brains work?
How should we trap this guy? And I'm like, as a conniving liar, this is what I would fall for.
It worked so fucking well. Like, it's not even funny. Like, his guard was completely down. He just waltzed right into the office, right up to the desk. I'm assuming it was the front desk. I watched the security footage of it. He's just sitting there, signing in, and almost like a cartoon lady. I'm gonna reenact it for you. I'm gonna show you it afterward, but like a cartoon, you just see two FBI agents creeping up behind him as he's signing in at the desk, one on each side of him, and just they slowly just walk up, and then all of a sudden they're just like, go, and they both just tackle him, and then they got him on the ground, and then the third FBI agent busts in through the door, and he has a big old rifle, and he's like, get down, get down, get down, the whole time.
This is the best part of the episode. This is the best part of the episode, is just watching this fucking hooligan get tackled by 3 FBI agents and being shouted at and being like, you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb. And he's like, oh no, I might be a dumb.
I will definitely post, this was a Crime 360 video that I watched, and I knew this was going to be the most requested thing that people wanted to see, so I actually wrote down, this happens around 22 minutes and 10 seconds in the video, around that time stamp.
I cannot wait to watch this video, because this will bring me such joy, such delight.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
I'm so excited.
So they got him. From there, like you said, head off the snake. The other 2 guys came down like dominoes. James and William were arrested later that day at some local shop. Like, right off the bat, they just, were like, no problem.
They were like,
the other 2.
Do you think fucking Ringo's gonna come back? Do you think he's gonna come back for us? I think he's gone awful long. How much information do you think he told them? oh no, I'm arrested.
Pretty much, yeah. Within a few hours that they had time to panic, and then they were arrested, and it was sad.
They were arrested. They went straight to jail.
Wait to jail. Right off the bat, Timothy and William refused to speak with police at all. But James, Mr. Greenham, our weak link, he was willing to talk.
I'll tell you everything.
Pretty much. Detective Clayton was the one that conducted this interrogation. Not interview, this was not an interview, it was an interrogation. James
It was
cried.
an interview in an aggressive style.
It ranged. I mean, he came at it from every angle at first, because like I said, James cried throughout most of the interview, so that, I watched part of it, and I mean, he does everything. At some points, he's like, it's okay for men to cry. Let it out. You can tell me what happened. And then other times, he's like, what happened? You better tell me right now. He goes all over. He tries everything for, 2 hours, and eventually...
He's like, I will be good cop and bad cop.
He didn't need anyone else in there. He did it. Detective Clayton did it. He got results.
I fucking love this man so much. I'd love to meet you, Detective Clayton. I'd love to talk to you. I want to just know. I just want to thank you personally for taking these 3 idiots off the street and getting justice for John. Because, quite frankly, I'm frothing at the mouth. I'm fucking losing my hair as we speak. I've lost about 6 years of my life just to rage and rage alone for these fuckwits, and you did it, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Really proud of Detective Clayton getting that thing.
I'm really proud of him. I am.
But yeah, he sat there with pathetic Greenham in the corner, just fucking hunched over. Like I said, just like a turd in the corner. 2 hours. But the first thing he actually muttered that was coherent was, "Tim pulled the trigger."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a fucking hard line to drop. For 2 hours in, he's like, Tim did it.
Yep. And it's like a movie. Detective Clayton leans in and he's like, "What'd you say?" And he goes, "Tim pulled the trigger." And he just keeps saying it. He goes, "Tim pulled the trigger." It's very this whole thing is so drama. It's so drama. It's just
such a CSI episode. It's a CSI Arizona episode.
God, it really is. So, after that, James just laid out the entire his entire side of the whole story. I don't want to say it's the whole story. He laid out his entire side of the whole story for investigators.
There's 2 sides to every story.
There's his side, the other guy's side, and the truth.
Yeah. There's actually 3 sides to every story.
I thought you said 3. I can't count.
I said 2, and I was like, I think there's more.
There's a lot more. There's just at least 3, right?
There's at least 3. There's your version, their version, and the actual version.
And the actual, exactly. So, James continued to paint Timothy Ring as the leader, explaining it was Tim who did all of the planning, scoping out the driver's schedule and route, just all of it, and the other 2 were just kind of there.
They're just there.
Yeah. So
they were there to look cool.
Then, this again, going back to his side of the story, going back to November 28th, 1994, there are 3 men sat together outside of the Dillard's department store, waiting for the white armored Wells Fargo van that they know is about to pull up on schedule at about 1:30 p.m. in front of the store, just as it had so many times before. Inside that van, as they know, sat David Moss, the messenger, and the driver, John Magoch. Just as they knew John Magoch would, like he had done so many times before, once his messenger went to pick up the money, he cracked open his door for what would be his last cigarette, fully unaware that he was being watched the entire time.
Jesus Christ.
Just hate it. I just hate it.
I hate it. It's cowardly. It's cowardly.
It's so cowardly. Completely, John just fully unaware that his life was about to be robbed from him. Robbed from his daughter that would no longer have a father.
That was honestly the biggest crime committed that day. It's like, we stole fucking a couple $1,000s, but you robbed someone of their life.
Someone of their grandpa. There's a baby out there that had to grow up without their grandpa because of these 3 pieces of shit.
Because of these fucking losers. You robbed so many people of the experience to know John. And to grow with John and to laugh with John. And you robbed John of his life, of his aspirations, of his hopes, right before the holidays.
Right before the holidays.
Fucking bastards.
once John had opened his door, the rest of their plan was set into motion. James was the one that began to approach the vehicle to be in position for when Timothy was going to fire the shot. From the vehicle that the men were parked in a ways away, Timothy Ring shot John Magoch with a science rifle as James was approaching the vehicle. Right as Timothy shot John, James shoved John's body out of the way and got into the driver's seat and pulled away, all within the span of like 2 minutes.
I hate how synchronized this is.
This happened so quickly. It was so... I don't want to say well organized. They were so fucking lucky. They were so lucky that no one saw this. They were so lucky that just...
I hate it. I hate how synchronized they were, and the amount of luck that went into this, because, God, if one of them had just fucked up once...
Right? Just once.
This would have played out so differently.
James left the parking lot, like I said, followed by the other two in Ring's pickup truck. Just as the witness statements had confirmed, they were driving pretty fast, and they were heading straight to that church in Sun City, where he had said Timothy directed him to drive to. Once they had arrived at the church parking lot, they very quickly transferred the money from the van into the back of the pickup truck, and the very final step of the plan really was to just cover their tracks. So from there, they took their red pickup truck, drove straight out to the desert, and burned all of the evidence. They burned all of the checks, all of their clothes, basically every shred of evidence that was not money.
Wow.
And for a
Fucking
while...
losers.
They really did think they got away with it.
Yeah.
They
probably, up until the moment they were arrested, they probably thought we're scot-free.
That
so good.
Even in the moment when you see Timothy Ring get arrested, like, he barely says anything, and I don't think it's because of like anything other than the fact that he's extremely shocked. He's like, what the fuck is happening? I was invited here as an informant. What is happening right now? Like, his brain doesn't compute. Like, I think it takes him a minute, and like he's more concerned. He's like, my arm, like, they ask him, like, do you have a weapon?
I am in sudden pain.
Literally, like, I don't know, it's so weird. They're like, do you have a weapon on you? He's like, no, I just have a knife. I'm like, that's a weapon.
I think that qualifies, actually. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't know, but he clearly was just really shocked at that happening, and I just like was not. He just was not expecting it.
Oh no! How did you know it was me?
Yeah. But yeah, immediately, as I said, he clammed up. This is all from the perspective of James Greenham. But yeah, so back to the arrests. On February 16th, just 2 days after the arrests, the police executed a search warrant on Timothy Ring's house. This is where they discovered more incriminating evidence. This is where they found that duffel bag that I was telling you about with his name nicely written on it that just said Timothy Ring in all cap letters on a nice green duffel bag. It had $271,000 in cash in it.
There is so much, there's just sour taste in my mouth right now. I think I'm gonna throw up with how fucking stupid everything is. Like, I'm speechless. I'm speechless at the stupidity of everything.
It really is just like, did you want to get caught? Like, what was the point of all of this if you were this stupid and wanted to get caught? Like, what was the point? Was all of this for nothing? Did you just want to kill someone? Because this really seems just so stupid that I cannot fathom.
The feelings that I am feeling are pure and intense, and it's all fucking hatred. I can't hammer this home enough. This is stupid. This is so stupid.
So the police walk out with their giant green duffel bag full of cash and the perpetrator's name on it. And inside that duffel bag, they find another smaller duffel bag. This one also had cash inside of it, but this one had James Greenham's ID, his picture ID, his photo identification inside of it with his money.
Why?
Just like Ring said, remember earlier on the phone call when he said, don't worry, I have his and mine.
Why is his ID in there?
Just so he knows he didn't forget. He didn't go, whose cash is this? Oh, yeah, it's James Greenham's cash.
In a duffel bag with his name on it. Why do you need his ID?
Well, because it only had Timothy Rings on the big duffel bag. Inside the big duffel bag was the smaller duffel bag. That's why he put his ID in the smaller duffel bag. Oh, that way he could tell the money apart.
The separation of the bags wasn't enough.
No, he didn't keep them separate. He said he had to keep them together. One was inside the other. What are you not understanding? I'm just kidding. I'm trying to justify nonsense to you. There is no logic behind this, lady. It's nonsense. It is nonsense. These are decisions made by people that don't think.
I don't drink, but I could really use a fucking bottle right now. This is gonna put me back. This is gonna get me to drink again.
So, in addition to these utterly comical pieces of evidence, they also found an entire arsenal of different kind of weapons. I will post the photos. It looked like 24 different kinds of guns that they found with ammo, police gear, which included a homemade silencer and a rifle, very similarly to the one that they thought was used in this crime.
A homemade silencer. What is that? Every time I hear homemade silencer, all I'm imagining is a pillow.
It could have been. I don't know much about guns. I don't know about guns. They showed a picture of it. It kind of looks like a muffler to me, which I guess is kind of the same thing, but it just looks like a giant pipe type thing that I think goes on the end of it and it muffles the sound.
Silencers are usually like twist-on pipes, usually. I just the sound of it's a homemade silencer is it's just a pillow.
Right. It's also
what everyone seems to use.
No one knew.
Yeah, no one knew.
They also found a post-it note with the number 575,995 written on it. Which,
right, so that's the amount of money they stole.
Yeah, it's oddly similar to that original amount of money that was stolen, the cash that was stolen.
I mean, how much of it was left at this point? Because they're fucking buying boats and
So it's so funny you say that. That was just at the top of the sticky note. Let's read on. Let's read on more of the sticky note. Followed by that.
Oh my god.
It was also followed by the word splits and the letters F, Y, and T.
What could it mean?
The prosecution asserted that F was Ferguson, Y was Yoda, going back to, remember, James Greenwood's nickname from before, because that's what his friends called him, and T for Timothy.
I don't believe this man had friends.
These weren't really real friends. Your real friends...
No.
Don't do this.
I don't believe he had real friends.
No.
I don't.
No. But they called him Yoda.
Because did they call him Yoda, or did other people call him Yoda?
These folks, these...
They're not friends. They're manipulators. They're psychopaths.
So... along underneath that was written accounts of all the money, like you said, kind of showing who had what amounts left. Just nicely tallied. Because you had to know. How do you keep track?
I don't know. This was the 90s.
You keep track on a sticky note. Duh.
Just a sticky note.
Like you have your duffel bag full of cash, and then you have your sticky note to keep track of the finances, and then you have all your guns and the one that you used to commit the murder in the other room.
Yeah, of course.
But all in the same house. You have to keep them in the same house, because why would you keep them?
It's line of sight, right? Like if you write it down on the sticky note, but the money's in a different room, how are you going to know that sticky note is related to that duffel bag?
Exactly.
And then how would you know that there's a smaller bag in the duffel bag with someone's ID, just in case you couldn't tell them apart, that belongs to someone?
There's no way. You have to. These steps needed to be taken in order for it to make sense. So
it's in this book called Bank Robber 101.
Bank robberies for dummies.
It's specifically in the chapter about armed robbery, where they just said be as dumb as possible and be as lucky as possible.
Yeah. Check and check.
Yep.
So the authorities believed that all of this combined was more than enough strong evidence to build a case against the three for this crime.
I think we're beyond that at that point. We have, we could put them away for crimes they didn't commit at this point. We could just... They're guilty for everything. They're guilty by proxy. It's just stack everything on them. We have so much against them. We've moved on to 8 different crimes that haven't even been committed yet. The plans up north are all up in a tiz.
The plans up north. This is going to affect the plans up north.
This is going to affect the world tour.
What tour? The world tour.
The world tour.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. So, later that same night, all 3 of these guys were transported to the Maricopa County Jail.
Amazing. Spectacular. I hope it was an uncomfortable ride and that their boots are chafing.
Right.
I hope that the handcuffs that they were latched to rubbed uncomfortably upon their skin. I hope they sprained their ankle trying to get out of that bus.
They had bad wedgies the whole time and itch they couldn't scratch.
Yeah, I hope their scalp was itching, but the handcuffs wouldn't let them get that high.
Yeah, right in their nose too.
Yeah, I hope they got a really bad rash.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
Yeah. So, now this case was already pretty hot in the local press. Having this much money being stolen was a pretty big deal. People were like, who stole this money? This is a crazy heist.
It was 3 idiots, and
Yeah.
we're bringing them out in song because we're so elated that the idiots are off the street. Da-da-da,
A little bit.
da-da-da.
I mean, the press was lined up as if that were the case, truly. Like, you would think that this was, like, a spectacle. People, like, were, like, ready to go. They wanted to see who the fuck had committed this crime, and they were pretty disappointed when they saw it was the 3 idiots. But they still wanted to know. So, Ferguson and Greenham were the ones that remained completely silent during, like, their perp walk past the press. It was Ring who was pretty vocal.
Yes, hello. Hello, peasants. It is I, the mastermind, the glorious leader of this intrusive plan. You can see me.
This is gonna make you even more mad.
You can buy my book at the local Barnes and Nobles. It will be sold for $3, which I will still profit off of because it's the 90s and that legislation hasn't passed yet.
Oh, God. No, this is gonna make you even more mad. He basically...
Great.
Tim was basically like, I am being set up. You have the wrong guy for this. In more or less words, he was just extremely adamant that he was completely innocent and that this was the FBI setting him up. So...
He's taking the fall. The feds are corrupt.
Yeah, literally. When reporters asked him, well, like, what about the wiretaps and all those, like, crazy recordings?
He's like, the what?
Yeah, well, his response was, they did have a wiretap, but... they're just showing you neat little excerpts from the whole conversation. If you saw the whole thing, you'd have a different light on things.
I'm sorry, what? I know I said some really incriminating bullshit, but that was taken out of context.
Literally. Yep, that was his claim. He said they are cherry-picking their little snippets and they are building a case against me that they want you to believe, but I am just Timothy the Innocent.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Amazing. Spectacular.
So reporters followed up by saying, so you're saying they got the wrong guy? Tim replied, I know they got the wrong guy.
I like it. Confidence in a stupid man. What could go wrong?
Right, like you said, the utter confidence.
The audacity of this poor gentleman.
And that is where we are going to cut it for episode 1.
Oh my god! 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 I'm feeling all sorts of feelings. I'm feeling all sorts of ways. I think mostly what I'm feeling is shock and awe that this is a 2-parter.
Right? I know. This surprised me. In the last, like, few days, as I was, like, tidying my script up, like, I added double the amount of pages that this initially had. I didn't think this was going to be a 2-parter, but it's going to end up being a 2-parter.
This has been a journey. We're not even done yet. But
No.
This has been a journey of humanity, of the human, of concept, of nature, of mentalism, of spirituality, of finding God and finding love. And I hate, with every fiber of my being, these 3 gentlemen for everything that they've done.
Right?
And I'm so excited to see where this goes. Because we got him.
Yeah.
But now what do we do?
Right? There's a lot. You know how courtrooms are. There's a lot of stuff that happens.
Yeah.
And
the legal stuff of it all is, I don't even have the words right now. I'm so angry.
Yeah. No, but it's one of the trickiest parts of this whole process because it's like, it's great. You have this evidence, tie it together, make a coherent case, prove it beyond reasonable doubt. Mm-hmm. That's the key.
I think just leave these 3 in the courtroom for long enough. They'll prove it for you. Eventually, like, one of them will start talking, the other one will start crying, and the other one will go, no, that's not how it happened. No. They're trying to take our hair. I need to water my monstera. Why is this happening? And then everyone will be like, yeah, they're fucking guilty as fuck.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a complicated process. Even the best researched and best evidence gathering, the best due processes can be foiled by a bad prosecution and a good defense.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful, but I already know that we've started this off with the legal ramifications of this case were catastrophic.
Yep.
So I'm a little scared to see where this goes. But
it gets crazy. Like, if you thought the actual, like, I don't even want to call it a crime spree because it wasn't. It was just them spending money like idiots. But I really feel like if you want to call, like, their crime period one of the craziest parts of this, like, just get ready because the legal,
Oh my
like
God.
I said, the legal battle that becomes of this is just, it's crazy. And I still
Wow.
I was talking to my husband about it. I was talking to Corey. Just, I don't know, like morally where we stand on this too, because even just as like a citizen that lives in the United States, like the outcomes of this like kind of do affect us a little bit. And I was like, I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about what the right answer is, like, per se. Like, so I'm excited to discuss that with you once we get to the end of this, because I think I'm just really excited to hear your perspective and know, like, okay, which way do you think it should have been? Do you think the original way was the right way? Do you think this new way is the right way? Do you think, like, what do you think? So
yeah, because I guess I've been very narrow-minded in this case so far, because I've just been so outraged at the stupidity of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know we're about to get into the very complicated territory. Yeah, we caught the guys, but now at what cost? And I really hope that they're put away for the right reasons, but something tells me that it's not going to be as clean cut as I would like.
Yeah. No, it gets messy, like you said, on the actual charges themselves, because we've always talked about you know, like the difference between attempted murder and murder, and how different that is, and how like one charge versus another, even though you have like the same evidence, the way that the evidence applies to the charge is different, and then the outcome of that is also different.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is kind of what happens in this case a little bit, where I don't want to spoil anything, but that's kind of how this goes.
You and I will discuss it immediately. Dear listener, you have to wait a week.
Yes.
To hear this outcome, but start thinking, start theorizing.
Start thinking.
What do you think? Are they idiots? Yes or yes?
Right. But also, I mean, Tim is implying, he's not even implying, he straight up said it, that he's being framed. Do you think there's even a possibility of that, or are you solely convinced already at this point that he is guilty?
I am pretty convinced that he's an idiot.
Yeah.
But I also think he knows the system, unfortunately. I think he's played this game before. I'm sure this isn't his first crime. I'm sure he's committed atrocities while he was working with the feds, while he was being a cop, while he was being a bounty hunter. I think this is just the grandest scale of crime, and it's had the most severe comeuppance. But I think he knows how to play the game, which is unfortunate. I don't want to even give him that credit. And unfortunately, any person, can be convinced of anything. So
yeah,
I think our current political and economical climate is very indicative that if someone just says something loud enough, a lot of people will believe you.
Yeah.
So I think that's my worry. But I'm hoping that the evidence wins out. And if it doesn't, I think I'm going to just punch a guy. Just a random guy. I'll find a guy. I'm going to punch someone. It'll probably...
Can I punch you? Do you mind?
I won't punch you. But it'll probably be fucking Ringo Dingo over here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this case has been extremely frustrating up until this part, and you might have a headache after next episode, too.
I have a headache right now. Let's go.
Yeah. Just be ready. Bring your aspirin, everybody.
Yeah. Or Tylenol if you prefer.
But yeah, whatever you are, an aspirin or a Tylenol household, we don't judge.
But are you in a leave?
Are you in a leave household? Okay, I judge that. You're gonna leave? Well, I'll just leave. I don't know. I have nothing against the leave. I'm sorry.
No, you heard her. You heard her true feelings. They came out. We have the evidence. We have it on. I'll be able on tape. If you're in a leave household, you better watch out.
You better watch it.
Oh, fuck.
Gosh.
Amazing. Well, ma'am.
Thank you so much for sitting with me for those 2 hours, going over, like I said, just honestly, I think the dumbest, the dumbest criminals. I really, maybe that will be the name of this episode, is like the dumbest heist you've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like this is, like, I dare you to beat it. I dare you to find one dumber than this.
Ooh.
I really do.
I feel like you misunderstand the human nature. We are intrinsically dumb creatures, and we will find a way to be dumber.
Gosh. Well, I look forward to that day.
Yeah.
I'm sure I will be just as pissed off then, too.
But, ma'am, I know I've been raging a lot, and I know I've been yelling stupidity and obscenities at your way, and I just want to say that is directed at the poor fucking hooligans, not even poor, the fucking hooligans of this crime, and you have been telling this story amazingly, and I have loved every second of it in all of my hatred and vitriol and brimstone that I am burning. This has been so much fun.
that is all I ever hope to do, is to provide you with a good time through my storytelling.
You fucking
so.
succeeded. I don't think I've ever been so heated on a Spookery episode before. And God, I feel it's almost therapeutic in a way. Like, I know what happened. I'm going to be mad about it now, but like, whew.
Oh, I told you I was going to make you feel something. I never told you what I was going to make you feel.
Yeah, I genuinely was like, she's going to try and make me cry. Good luck. Nope. Nope. That was, honestly, when you started talking about the victims, I was like, there's going to be multiple. John's just the first. There's going to be a trail of bodies. I'm going to cry for every single one of them. It's like, nope, it was just John. Rest in peace, John. Now we're just going to feel anger and disgust for 3 parasites.
Yep.
And I do.
That's the majority of this episode. And I honestly, I'm sure that is how his daughter felt this entire time, like, watching this. There's going to be a part next episode that's going to, like, boil your blood.
Well,
I already know. I
can't wait to get there.
Yeah.
We should leave consider that your teaser, dear chat. That was your teaser. That's all you're getting. We'll wrap this up nice and pretty, and
yes, we will
bring it in next week for the grand finale of Spookery season 2.
Yes.
Well, ma'am, in the meantime, where can our dear listener find us?
You can find us on the Instagram, on YouTube, at Spookery Podcast. If you want to shoot us a message or anything like that, where can they do that?
They can send us a Gmail at spookerypodcast@gmail.com. You can send us your thoughts. You can send us your feelings. While you're there, if you wouldn't mind, consider leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It really helps us with the algorithm. Season 2 has been off to a roaring start. You guys have been amazing. Keep it up. You guys have been amazing. All of your messages so far have been amazing. And yeah, we can't wait to keep bringing delightful spookery content your way.
Gosh, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that just the way?
Ain't that just the way? Ma'am, well, until next time.
Stay spooky, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye,
everybody.
goodbye.
Definitely some sort of a veteran criminal. Criminal?
Veteran criminal. Welcome to the criminal. He's got the guns and he's doing the crime. He's a criminal. And we love him. We love the criminal.
No, we don't love the criminal.
We don't love the criminal. We want him to go to jail.
Yeah, we do. Jail. Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Did not refill the Buddha. Did not drink from the Buddha. This fucking criminal.
God damn it. No, but